It was a long wait, but we finally got the one major thing that was missing from File Explorer: tabs. Yes, with the latest Windows 11 update, we finally have tabs. And not just that, there are some other useful things that tagged along as well. I'll show you them, but first, let's check out the tabs. So now when you open Windows Explorer, you're gonna see this tab on top, and beside it is this beautiful plus. Click it to open another tab. If you're a fan of keyboard shortcuts, use the shortcut Ctrl-T. Or let's say you have this folder here, and you wanna open it on a separate tab. Just right-click, and then select Open in New Tab. So the Home tab up here is the default location. By the way, this used to be called Quick Access before. Quick Access is still there, it's just a part of the Home tab. Good news is that Home doesn't have to be your default. If you want to change that, click on the ellipsis up here, go to Options. Under General, you're going to see Open File Explorer 2, and there's a drop-down. Depending on your setup, you're going to see different options. Aside from Home and Disk PC, I see my OneDrive and SharePoint folders. Let's say I select Team Editing. Let's OK this, and now every time I open a new tab, it opens that drive. Now that we've got all of these tabs open, we can easily switch between them. If you want to use keyboard shortcuts, you'll need Control-Tab. And if you want to move the other way, use Control-Shift-Tab. To jump to a specific tab with your shortcut keys, you can use Control and the tab number. So Control and 3 jumps to the third tab. So one of my most common use cases for these tabs is when it comes to moving and copying files between folders. So let's say I'm inside this folder and I want to copy this Excel file to Team Editing. One option is just to Control-C this and then go to Team Editing and Control-V. Other option is to click and drag to the tab. And you're going to see on the bottom, if I drop it right now, it's going to move it. If I hold down the Control key, it's going to copy it. So now if I let go, it will create a copy. If you made a mistake and didn't want to move it or copy it, you can just press Escape. You can rearrange tabs as you need by just dragging and dropping. To close a tab, just click the X or use the shortcut key Ctrl-W. You can also right mouse click and close tabs to the right or close all the other tabs. This is definitely my favorite feature that unfortunately was missing from File Explorer all this time. I don't have to use third-party software anymore to get this experience, and I know that a lot of other people have strong feelings about this as well, so it might be your nudge to switch over to Windows 11 if you've been holding off till now. Speaking of favorites, in the Home section, you get to pin your most used files. So some of the files you're going to see here are files you've specifically pinned within an application. If you'd like to pin other files to your favorites, just right-click on a file and then add to favorites. This way it's going to show up in this section for easy access. Right-click again and remove from favorites to take it off this list. Below the favorites section, you're going to see your recently opened files. This area generally can get too crowded, and if you prefer a cleaner look, you can set that up in the options. Click on the ellipsis up here, go to Options. Under Privacy, you can uncheck anything you don't want displayed. The first checkbox is for all files you recently opened.
You see at every other cafe. Like, this was honestly the most bare bones basic collab cafe you could possibly ask for. Not amazing, not terrible, just fine. 2.5 out of 5. Which is unfortunate because I feel like there's so much they could have done with the Eeps concept. Number 4, Tokyo Mew Mew at Moto Cafe in Ikebukuro. I was waiting for Tokyo Mew Mew to finally get their own cafe, and they did! I actually ended up going to this one twice. The first thing I tried was the kishu plate, which included a quiche, a side salad, fries, and a side of ratatouille. Daru ordered the Cafe Mew Mew omurice plate, and I also ordered the strawberry chocolate fruit sandwich. During my second visit, I ordered the Aoyama black and white stew plate. And I'll be honest, all of these items tasted pretty good, but presentation-wise, there really wasn't a lot going on. Not even one of those low-effort wafer paper decorations. At that point, you're not really eating themed food, more like regular cafe food that's extremely overpriced. But to be honest, I'd rather eat uninteresting-looking food that tastes good than the other way around, so I still had a good time, all things considered. The drinks, unfortunately, were a disappointment. We ordered the Ichigo tea, Minto drink, and Zakuro tea, and they literally all tasted like water that was slightly flavored, which was a trip because they looked so vibrant and tasty. It threw me off. The merch was also pretty cute, but also super limited. It was the typical badges, charms, stickers, and file folders, and I ended up picking up the stickers and file folders. Overall, this was a pleasant experience, but I'll be honest, I was expecting a little more from a collab that seemed so obvious considering the characters work at a cute cafe in the anime. 3 out of 5. Number 5, Genshin Impact at Sweets Paradise. Here we are at another Sweets Paradise cafe. This time I went with Didus and Nabi, and we ordered quite a bit. The atmosphere was nice and busy, they played footage from the game on the walls, and there was music from the Inazuma soundtrack playing the whole time. I feel like this collab definitely had more thought put into it than the Eve Cafe, because they actually went out of their way to recreate some of the dishes from the game. I ordered Kazuha's specialty dish, which was a grilled fish with rice and miso soup, which is a combo I usually really enjoy, but this fish didn't taste very seasoned, so I wasn't really a fan. We also ordered Toma's Oden, which tasted pretty good, as expected. I think it's hard to screw up Oden, to be honest. Didus ordered Yai Miko's specialty dish, which was a kitsune udon, and it tasted really good, actually. He completely annihilated it. My personal favorite was Ayaka's specialty dish, which was both really pretty, like the one in the game, and super tasty. The outside was the super soft, pretty, like the one in the game, and super tasty. The outside was the super soft, sweet mochi, and the inside had red bean, whipped cream, and strawberries. It was so good. The last dessert we tried was an Anmitsu themed after Goro, and I felt pretty indifferent about this one. I wasn't really into it. For the drinks, I had to order Ayato's milk tea boba, and Didus ordered Raiden Shogun's dango milk, which had a cute little blue ribbon on it like in the game. I unfortunately did not get to try it because he drank it so fast, but he really enjoyed it, so I'm assuming it was really good. Nabi ordered the black oolong tea and karage combo, which she also enjoyed. Overall, the food and drinks were pretty good, and I liked that some of the items were presented in the same likeness as their game counterparts. I got to take home a big stack of coasters that they gave out for each item we ordered, and while the merch section had the usual acrylic stands, badges, and file folders, you could also purchase plush slimes, bags, and washi tape for every region in Genshin besides Sumeru, which I dedicated an entire journal page to. Since it was Eula's birthday week, we also received a free Eula postcard, which I also pasted in my journal. Didus usually hates collab cafes, and he really liked this one, so this one counts as a success in my book. 5 out of 5, sure. Number 6, Berserk Cafe in Chiyoda. First off, the atmosphere was great because the first thing you see when you walk in is this giant cardboard display of guts, which looked incredible, and his iconic Dragon Slayer sword right underneath it. In the same room, there's framed art on display that you can browse through, which I'd never seen a collab cafe do, so that was really cool. Similarly to the Square Enix cafe, the ordering system was great because you got to just swipe through the menu and select which items you wanted. And you could actually order merch this way too. Didus ordered the branded sacrifice roast beef sandwich, which was literally just a sandwich and fries with a symbol on the sandwich. This was 1,540 yen, are you kidding me? It was meh. He also ordered the Griffith chicken wings, which I think were fine. I'll be honest, they weren't very memorable. I just remember them being kind of lukewarm. We both agreed that the tastiest item on the menu was the meat-wrapped rice ball on a stick that was meant to look like the Giant Slayer sword. It was pretty good. Can't really go wrong with a combo like meat and rice. I also ordered Casca's pomegranate kelpis, which I thought tasted really good. Now, the real highlight of this cafe was the merch. Some of the things you could get included a glitter key holder, a glass at the face, temporary tattoos, a metallic poster of Guts and Griffith, acrylic coasters, and prints of the artwork that was on display at the front of the cafe. Didus ended up getting a Berserk branded ramen bowl, which he was very excited about, and some blind bag acrylic coasters. We received free cardboard coasters with every item that we ordered, and the artwork on each of them looked spectacular. Overall, the food was pretty meh, but the merch was some of the most interesting I'd ever seen in a collab cafe, and the display section was really neat. 3.5 out of 5. Number 7, the Miraculous Ladybug Cafe in Akihabara. Now, I know I haven't watched Miraculous Ladybug in years, and I've long since given up on this show, but I was intrigued by the fact that there even was a Miraculous Ladybug collab cafe going on. So here's my thoughts on the food. For the drinks, Daru and I ordered the Ladybug Berry Soda and the Cat Noir Kiwi Calpis drink, which we both really enjoyed. For our entrees, I ordered the chibi lunch, which included a small salad, potato wedges, some fried chicken, pasta, and what I think was a sweet potato soup. I thought it tasted pretty good, but it did sort of give me the vibe of like a school lunch. Daru ordered the mini cheeseburger plate, which she wasn't really impressed by, and again, feels a little like a school lunch. I think the real stars of this collab were the desserts. For dessert, we ordered the Sweethearts ice cream, which actually looks like the one from the show, and it had flavors of ramune on top and berry on the bottom. And the Marinette macaron plate, which had a strawberry macaron, a cream puff, and berry panna cotta. This plate was actually pretty good, especially the macaron. Holy cow, the macaron was so tasty, which I really wasn't expecting. Overall, I'd say the highlights of this collab were definitely the desserts and drinks in both presentation and taste. I liked that they had so many different drink options for the different characters, so I sort of wish I'd ordered more. The merch section had the usual badges, acrylic stands, and charms, so no extra points in that area, unfortunately. This one also gets a 3.5 out of 5. Number 8, BT21 at Shibuya 109. I know this one is technically not an anime, but the theme of this cafe was so cute I had to check it out. This time, I went with a friend who's a big K-pop fan, and we were immediately ecstatic over the cute magic-themed decor. For our visit, we received a free little memo pad and adorable star-shaped coasters, which was a nice change of shape from all the circle and square coasters I'd been getting. We both ordered the magical milk tea, which was a tea drink that came with a big cloud of cotton candy on top, and a cup of milk that you're supposed to pour over the cotton candy and watch it magically disintegrate into your tea. It was really good. Definitely one of the more fun drinks I've had at a collab cafe. For the meal itself, we decided to share the magical tea time set and order one additional food plate because we knew we couldn't finish a whole dessert plate on our own. The presentation of this pastry stand meal was so cute. The savory plate had a sandwich, veggies, and a pasta gratin with mashed potatoes in the likeness of the BT21 character of your choosing. And the dessert plate had a spread of fruit, this really cute rainbow decoration made out of syrup and cotton candy, and a yogurt mousse tart that looked like the character of your choosing again. To be totally honest, I think everything looked better than they tasted. Like, I loved that there were so many vegetables and fruits, but somehow it all tasted very okay. Like, nothing was bad, but nothing was super great in any way either, and I was left feeling a little unsatisfied. The highlight of this cafe for me was definitely the adorable atmosphere and great presentation, but considering how expensive the plates were, I think I was expecting just a little more flavor. Especially those sandwiches, those were not great. The merch store had some pretty interesting stuff, like a mug, washi tape, handkerchiefs, balloons, acrylic coasters, and little handheld mirrors. I feel like this was slightly better than the average collab cafe experience. I just wished it was a little tastier. I'm gonna give this one a very soft 3.5 out of 5. Number 9, Spy Family at Sweets Paradise. Hey, we're back at Sweets Paradise, and this time I managed to get a reservation for a Spy Family collaboration. This time I dragged James and Whitney with me because they've been enjoying the show too. Okay, so first off, I have to knock off points for the atmosphere. Not that it was ugly or anything, but they kept playing just the second season opening over and over again the entire time, and it got to a point where I no longer enjoy hearing the opening, so thank you for that, Sweets Paradise. Anyways, right, the food. First thing I ordered was the Bond Parfait, and I need you to look at how cute this is. Full marks on presentation just for this cutie alone. I don't care if it's biased, look at him. James ordered the Anya Strawberry Soda, and Whitney ordered the Bond Coconut Boba, which both looked so cute next to each other. I also ordered Damien's Sparkling Grape Soda, which came with a small side of Pop Rocks that you could put in the drink. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. James ordered the Becky Spaghetti, which he liked, and he said the noodles had sort of an udon-like texture, which sounds amazing. I kind of wish I got that too, actually. Whitney ordered Damien's Cafeteria Steak Set, which sounds unappealing, but I tried some, and it actually tasted pretty good. Of course, nothing like an actual steak, but it had a strong savory flavor, and Whitney liked it, although she did say it got a little salty near the last few bites. I ordered the Lloyd omurice plate, and it was actually pretty good. The egg was nice and creamy on the inside, and the bread slices were fine. It was just bread and cheese. Lastly, for dessert, I ordered Yours chocolate cake, which was very prettily put together, but to no one's surprise, the chocolate was just a little too rich and intense for me and Whitney, which means it was absolutely heavenly to a chocolate lover like James, who graciously finished it for us. I think the presentation and taste of everything was pretty great, and the most disappointing part for me was the merch section. With an anime as popular and huge as Spy Family, I sort of expected a bigger selection of merch, maybe some interesting cafe exclusive stuff, but no, it was the usual badges, acrylic stands, and stickers. Same stuff you see at every Collab cafe, and of course the stationery was expensive, and of course I got it anyway because I wanted to paste it in my journal, and look, I swear I have actual journal entries in here to slowly devolve into a Collab cafe picture book. Anyways, 4 out of 5. Number 10, Banana Fish at the Box Cafe in Space in Shinjuku. Nobody is safe from the Emirichu Collab Cafe Buddy Acquisition Committee. This time, I dragged Connor to a Banana Fish cafe because he really likes that anime. So first off, this cafe menu was interesting because it featured menu items inspired by other regions, which actually made it really difficult for me to figure out what I wanted to eat. Like, for instance, I wasn't gonna get the New York bagel sandwich plate because I am well aware of what a good New York bacon, egg, and cheese tastes like, and I've never had to pay more than like $5 for one. So there was no way in hell I was gonna pay 1,500 yen for a bagel sandwich that would undoubtedly fail to reach the high standard I already had for bagel sandwiches. I wasn't gonna get the banh mi plate because I also happen to know what a good banh mi tastes like, and again, you usually don't have to pay more than like $4 for one. This also felt like I was setting myself up for disappointment. However, thanks to amusement parks and movie theaters, I'm all too familiar with having to pay jacked up prices for a hot dog. So in order to give this cafe even a fighting chance at a good score, I had to go for the hot dog. And I mean, it was fine. It didn't taste bad or anything. It had a nice snap to it. It looked pretty. It had veggies. It was a hot dog. The stuff on the side was I just don't think seaweed and tofu make a good side dish for hot dogs, but what do I know? Connor ordered the tomato and sardine pasta, which he surprisingly really enjoyed.
What did you say?
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Look at it. That's pretty. Not mid. Actually, it's pretty good. 8 out of 10.
For drinks, we first ordered the Ash drink and AG drink, both of which were pretty good. And then I got the shorter drink, which I thought I was gonna like because it's a mango milk tea, but we both thought it tasted really nasty. But the colorful soda float I ordered was delicious, especially when I mixed the vanilla ice cream into it because then it became this really tasty, creamy, fizzy milkshake. My only complaint being that there was way too much ice. Come on, what is this? You're gonna charge me 950 yen and fill up like 75% of the glass with ice? Get it together, Box Cafe in Space! Anyways, for dessert, we ordered the French toast plate, which was pretty but terrible. Easily some of the worst French toast either of us have ever eaten. We could only get like a few bites in and then we had to give up. But the caramel pancakes were pretty alright. I especially liked the sprinkling of pistachio nuts on top. A bit too much cream, but way better than the French toast. Honestly, I don't really know what to rate this one because everything seemed so wildly hit or miss. So I think this is one of those menu RNG type of situations where you just have to hope you pick the better tasting items. I'm gonna say like 3.5 out of 5. The rating system in this video is completely arbitrary, so you can disagree with me if you want. It's fine. I'm gonna say 3.5 out of 5. We didn't buy anything from the merch section, but I thought the most interesting thing was the super cute plate that our French toast was served on. Number 11, Fruits Basket in Osaka. If anyone ever dares to question my devotion to collab cafes and specifically Fruits Basket, I just want you to know I made the spontaneous decision to travel all the way to Osaka for a day just to go to the Fruits Basket 30th Anniversary Cafe because they did one in Tokyo, except it was back in early March, but I hadn't moved here yet, so I missed out on it, and then they announced that they were going to do it in Osaka, and I was like, it was my only chance to go to the Fruits Basket 30th Anniversary Cafe, so I did! But I wasn't alone, because if there's anyone who's always down to enable me in my impulsive fandom-driven pursuit for the next best cafe, it's Daru. We decided to take the Shinkansen to Osaka in the morning so we could catch an early lunch at the cafe and then go again for an early dinner before hopping on the train back to Tokyo. I even brought along my Furuba acrylic stand to take pictures with because if I'm gonna travel all the way to Osaka for a Collab cafe, I'm gonna be a little extra about it. We ordered almost the entire menu, so let's get right into it. First of all, the atmosphere was nostalgia heaven. There were gorgeous illustrations up on the wall, they were playing the soundtrack from the anime on the speakers, and there was that same convenient tablet ordering system at the tables where you could also order the merch. And oh my god, the merch! There was so much you could buy, it was almost overwhelming. We're gonna get into that after the food, but I'm telling you right now, it was the highlight of this cafe. For lunch, Daru and I started our order with a Kyo orange cocktail and a Kureno peach oolong tea. And unsurprisingly, they were both way too sweet. And I know it wasn't just me, because the guy sitting in front of me also ordered the peach oolong tea, and I heard him say amasugiru after taking a sip, so it's already not off to the best start. I also ordered a cafe latte with Yuki's face printed on it, and it tasted fine. Pretty much the same as every other cafe latte I've ever ordered at a Collab cafe. I was really excited to try the Kyo burger because I thought it looked adorable, but it was god-awful. Genuinely could not finish it. The buns were cold. I've had better burgers at McDonald's. Daru ordered the Yuki curry, which came out a little smudged, but I really liked that there were a lot more vegetables in it than what you usually get from a Collab cafe curry. And it tasted like what you'd expect. However, there was one thing that ruined the whole dish for us. To replicate Yuki's ears, they put ham on dark chocolate and then stuck it into the rice. Dark chocolate? Why? You couldn't use like a mushroom? Or maybe even one of those wafer papers? Chocolate? We thought maybe it was a flavor combo that was secretly good, but no, it tasted gross. It tasted like ham and dark chocolate over rice. At this point, we are praying to God the dessert will be the saving grace. We ordered the Kyoyuki chocolate lava cake, and similarly to my experience with the Your Chocolate cake from the Spy Family Cafe, this cake was too rich and chocolatey for me personally, but Daru loved it. So hey, one good thing out of like 5 things. Luckily, the things we ordered when we came back during dinner time ended up being a lot better. For drinks, I ordered the Toru strawberry milk, which tasted pretty good, but it then occurred to me that I forgot my lactate pills, and I was afraid of what an entire glass of milk was gonna do to me, so I passed it off to Daru. I also ordered Ayame's berry soda float, which was one of the best tasting things I'd ordered that whole day. I was worried it'd be too sweet like the drinks we had during lunch, but it was honestly perfect. Daru got the cursed jelly fruit punch, which is supposed to change color once you add the lemon juice. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember if it actually ever did. I didn't try it, but she thought it was alright. For dinner, we ordered the somen, which was the most normal thing on the menu, but I thought it was pretty good. Daru said the somen noodles are overcooked, but at this point, we just wanted something edible, okay? The bar's in hell. The best thing that we ordered ended up being the Toru rice ball plate. How fitting that the best girl ended up being the best item. One of the rice balls had her cute little face on the front and a little umeboshi on the back. Maybe it's because this was a super normal Japanese meal, but everything from the tamagoyaki to the salmon to the mackerel to little sausages wrapped in bacon tasted great. I was grateful that I could leave the cafe with at least one good meal in my stomach. For dessert, we decided to share the dessert plate, which included 2 mini parfaits, some citrus fruits, some more fruit in an orange bowl, a crepe cake slice, and some tea cookies. This one tasted pretty okay. I liked the fruits, but Daru and I both agree that the crepe cake slice was not the best. You could legitimately get a better tasting one from a konbini. But we really liked the presentation of the whole thing, and it came with some sweet little postcards that featured pages from the manga, and you know I had to paste that into my journal. But the most exciting part for me was the merch and free little goodies. We received a coaster for every item we ordered, so we ended up with a lot of coasters, which I was very happy about. And 2 larger size postcards of Yuki and Kill, which of course I had to put in my journal because where else was I gonna put it? I decided to treat myself to 2 prints that featured art from the manga and some blind bag acrylic coasters. Yes, I know I already have a massive collection of free cardboard coasters, but look at these designs and tell me I was just supposed to walk away from these. I stopped there, but they had more things for sale like framed fridge magnets, a mug, a cafe art stencil, reproduced prints or fruit basket illustrations, etc. This trip was a lot of fun, but I think for next time, if I ever do something like this again, I'll make it a multi-day trip because It doesn't really make sense to go to the city most known for its delicious food only to go to the worst kind of place for good food. If we're counting the bullet train tickets, this was hands down the most expensive cafe trip I've ever done, but I made some pretty good memories. 2.5 out of 5. Number 12, last but not least, the Oran High School Host Club Collab Cafe in Chiyoda. This time, we're actually going to the same venue as the Berserk Cafe. And this collab is licensed under the same company as Berserk and Fruits Basket, which means, uh-oh, the food is probably gonna suck, but the merch will be amazing. Like the Berserk Cafe, the moment you walk in, you're greeted by a large cutout display of the host club in their adorable cafe outfits, and a bunch of framed illustrations on the walls that you can admire before you get seated for your reservation. I really wish more cafes did this because it's such a nice addition to the atmosphere, and I love that you can purchase a print if you really like one of them. You sat down, scrolled through the iPad. Is that an Oran teacup set pre-order for 8,800 yen? Who in their right mind would buy this? Me. I am that person. I'm sorry. Listen, Daru and I may have both gotten a little excited with the merch, okay? They had a canvas print, they had washi tape, a postcard set, acrylic posters, a ticket holder with stickers, an Oran branded tea bag. I almost ignored the acrylic stands and then noticed that they came with a little table, so then I had to get it. Okay, we're moving on from the merch. You get it. It gets full marks, 5 stars. Let's talk about the food. Ordered Haruhi's strawberry soda, and as expected, I thought it was delicious. Daru ordered Kyoya's lime tonic, which came with black pepper sprinkled on top because it apparently signified Kyoya's dislike for sweet.
How do you like this?
Which, like, alright, interesting choice. Honestly, after ham dark chocolate yuki curry, I just don't question anything anymore. I also got Honey's rose hip strawberry tea, which looked very cute but tasted very gross. We also ordered a cafe latte with Tamaki's face printed on it, and it tasted fine. Again, cafe latte always tastes as you'd expect. Daru ordered the Kyoya burger, and... okay. So, seeing as how Hakusensha is behind this collab as they were with the Furuba collab, I sort of expected it to taste like the Kyo burger, and it did, but somehow it was even worse because it came with a side of 2 very dried up pieces of squid, and I love squid, so this was heartbreaking. And yes, those are unseasoned boiled potatoes. Does this meal look like a meal fit for someone as refined and elegant as Kyoya? Boiled unseasoned potatoes and cold buns? Again? I ordered the Karu and Hikaru curry, which was advertised like a prank that the twins are playing on you because one side of the curry is supposed to be super spicy, and you need to figure out which one it is, which sounds like a lot of fun. But then I received the curry, and before even tasting it, I was like, oh boy, which side is the spicier side? I wonder if it's the side that has cayenne pepper messily spattered all over it. Did you even try? And that's my biggest problem with the Hakusensha branded collab cafes. The food almost feels bad on purpose. The most decent thing we ate was the Honey Senpai strawberry cake, which had a really nice custard filling in the middle, and it was very cute. But I'm once again begging cafes to please use less cream in their desserts because like 50% of this cake was just entirely cream. We are drowning in cream, please. The cream to cake ratio is atrocious. 2 out of 5. So, if you go to a collab cafe with a really awesome merch selection, I recommend buying maybe a drink or 2 and then spending your money on the exclusive merch. And if you do get food, I recommend sticking to the more Japanese dishes because they're more likely to taste good.